Okay. For today's vocabulary, number one is from scratch. When something is made from scratch or you do something from scratch, that means you start with like almost no resources, no tools, no ingredients, or you just have very little, and you start by yourself. You don't have like any extra help, or maybe you start with yourself and someone else, but you don't have like a lot of help from a company or anything like that. So when you want to cook something and you don't feel like going out to eat, you don't want delivery, maybe you just have like a few small things at home, so you make something from scratch. You just take whatever small things you have at home that's left, and then you cook it, and you made a meal from scratch. It's also used if you start your own company. And let's say you start your own company, you don't have a website, you don't have like a company phone number, and you don't have anything to show for your company. You just start from scratch with your own money. So it just means that you start from almost nothing or next to nothing.
Is it similar to like zero base?
Kind of, yeah. Base zero, or yeah. Number two is a great expression. Dot your T's and cross your I's. I said it the other way. Dot your I's and cross your T's. That's like a joke that people say in movies. Anyways, when you dot your I's and cross your T's, that's a way that we say that you make sure that you do something perfectly, that you pay attention to the smaller details, that you have everything complete, and that you have everything done right. So if you have to turn in a report to your supervisor, they always say something like, you better make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. That's like saying you better make sure that everything is finished and perfect. If you meet like the new CEO of your company, and it's like the first day of the meeting, then they might say something like, okay, the new CEO is coming today. Everyone make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. That means make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing.
Why is it specifically only INT?
Because they teach you this from elementary school. And you know, when you're writing, everything is pretty much one motion for most letters, except for INT. So you write the word, and then you have to come back to the word after you finish writing and dot and cross. Dot and cross. So, and it was kind of like a thing, a normal thing for like, you know, sometimes you would get like a lazy student who they would just write it without dotting or crossing. So it's something that school teachers have been telling us since we were young. Yeah, dot your I's, cross your T's. Number three, consistency. To make sure that something is logical or that it makes sense. When the police are investigating a crime, they are asking different people for their story to make sure that there's consistency, to make sure that the story makes sense, and that's how they catch the criminals. Because if someone has a different story, then they find out that's where they need to investigate the crime. Consistency also means like being kind of stable. So make sure that you know, you're consistent with your work. Don't be really good one day and then really lazy one day. Your work should always be stable and producing good results. So if you are inconsistent, then that means sometimes your work is really good and then sometimes really horrible. Number four, add in. That's just to say to add something, include something. Number five, go around, is a way that we say to go from place to place to place. Sometimes we say something like go around town. So, I had a lot of errands to do today, or a lot of work to do today. I had to go here first to pick up something, and then I had to go there, and then there, and then there. So I had to go around town today. Yeah. Or lately the politicians are going around the country to try to get votes, right? Last, make sure, just to be certain about something, make sure you do this right? And that's all.